Greetings, YouTubers. I am so bored right now. Yeah, scoot away from my computer, get a little distance from the humming noise. Alrighty. Anyways, I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about, but I don't know. I was thinking maybe I'd read some things. So first off, I guess I'm gonna read stuff from this random website I just found, helium.com. Short stories, epic fantasy. This first one is by Corey Hayes, called Nuada's Sword of Light. The giant sword slung across Nuada's back vibrated in keen anticipation of the coming battle. It throbbed with the heartbeats of hundreds of warriors about to fall upon its ruin-carved blade. That's all I see there. Maybe I can click it. Okay. Yes. Devised by those who dwell deep under the earth, the very ones who fashioned Nuada's prosthetic arm in order to wield it. The sword was forged from an alloy of meteoric iron, rare metals, and with the same ancient and exotic enchantments that had damned the elves, the Tuatha De Danann, to their dark subterranean realm millennia ago. I so didn't understand that at all, but okay. Oh, there's more. The master craftsman tempered, folded, and quenched the blade thousands of times before striking the perfect balance between the supreme harness of its perfectly honed edge and the ductile resonance that absorbs the strongest of blows. They then imbued the sword with the memories of scores of experienced weapons that had been in the great battles of the previous ages. When the elves shocked it to life with a lightning bolt upon the mountaintop, it screamed in terror. Even the elder power within Nuada's silver arm could not restrain the panicked sword from soaking the mountain with the blood of the very sorcerers that conceived it. The gods watched in horror as the sword struck down the greatest of elves and men indiscriminately. The earth reeled under the offense. That stormy night, the golden runes illumined a glowing ball of raindrops around the bloodied Nuada. He would later name it Clioma Solis, the Sword of Light. The wise men of the nation simply called it Nuada's Shade. But it was neither proud nor ashamed of the words people used to describe it. The sword knew its name the same way it knew the humid wind smelling of ozone. Horses and heather at this very moment. I don't understand this at all. Okay, whatever. It felt the wisps of alabaster hair that had escaped from under its master's head, and were now mounted in the sweat and grim accumulated over a week's march. It also knew its counterpart, the magical arm, sometimes caused Nuada anything from itchy discomfort to excruciating pain, depending on the weather, his mood, and the fierceness of the battle. Nuada's half-elf blood pumped life into the arm, and the arm in turn wielded the sword. three were magically bound together, and all shared the same life, the same experience, the same knowledge. Unlike the arm, however, it didn't receive life and nourishment from Nuada's blood. It got it from the terror and blood of the slain. And unlike its bearer, the sword knew what the world thought of it, but quite simply didn't care. If the sword feared anything at all, it was its master's death. No mere mortal could ever grasp its hilt. Even Nuada's fleshly hand couldn't bear to touch it for more than a few minutes. He'd even tried to wrap the handle in vellum, but the leather had simply smoked and burned away. Only the silver arm could it, and only Nuada's blood gave life to the arm. Should Nuada die, the arm would die with him. Thus, the sword would die, with no one to wield it.
But such thoughts as fought from the sword's mind, as they crossed the ridge. In the valley below, a sea of warriors clang spears and swords against leather-bound shields. The horns and drums are briefly overtaken by a deafening peal of thunder, as Nuada's silver hand unsheathes the sword in light. And even the thunder is overtaken by the famished sword scream for havoc and blood.
Well, that's the end of that. Once again, short stories, epic fantasy by Corey Hayes and Nuada's Sword of Light. I hope you enjoyed me reading this. This is just to do for fun, mainly, so I can mess around, just in the voices and stuff. So, yeah. If you enjoyed my voices, if you want to look up the story, you can look it up at www.ilium.com/item/1933036/Nuada NUADA/sword/of/light. I mean, after the numbers it's -Nuada-Sword-Claomh-SOLAIS. Sorry that was complicated, but yeah, if you want to read this, go there. I just simply randomly found it by going to Google and typing in epic short stories, because I didn't want it to be anything long. So, that's it. Thanks for listening. Take care.